Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Saving Star Trek pre-show watch party. Today we got two great episodes for you. The first of which, Season 3, Episode 16, Doctor's Orders. T'Pol and Phlox are minding the crew as they sleep off a rather difficult part of the Expanse. So let's get this started. And welcome to John the Beagle Dad, already in the Cosme room. Only Portho, throw him in the holes. Hey, Captain. If you want to come up or watch along, the Cosme link's pinned to the top, and the Twitter group has the link for the studio. It should. Oh, I never did put it in there. Hello, Admiral. How you doing, Captain?
Doing good. How are you?
That's yeah, we got Doctor's Orders and Hatchery today.
Cool.
I guess this is a copy of a Voyager episode.
Really?
Yeah, Seven and the Doctor are mining the crew as they are in stasis for some reason or another. Hey, come on. Welcome to the show. Always the appropriate precautions. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Hey, John the Beagle Dad. Teague will be here soon. As far as he knows. At least someone respects him.
Exactly.
Why? He's an amoral lunatic. He's jolly Dr. Frankenstein. Why would you give him your ship? Well, at least most of the time went by without incident.
Yep.
Yep, we got a beep. Hey, I'm
Sorry, I'm late.
no
Hello.
problem.
Hey, Cap. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
We jump into this episode, this exciting episode of Star Trek Enterprise. Which one? We're still on the first one, right?
Yeah, doctor's orders. He is just watching the movie and hearing sounds.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I was so relieved when I saw this episode because it wasn't the doctor's orders, like the kind of medical episode with the doctor I was afraid of. Whenever I see a Star Trek episode that's about a doctor, while I don't mind it, YouTube can't figure out what's up with it.
Hello,
Hey,
Suzanne.
Is StreamYard's busted again, or did you change your avatar, Suzanne? Oh, Suzanne seems to have changed her avatar.
Yeah, she changed her avatar.
Juneteenth was 3 months ago, Suzanne. Oh, why is it all black? I hope everything's okay. And hello to John. Hello, come on. Wow, weird stuff. Cosme sent an invalid response to me. Are they finally having their denial of service attack?
I haven't had any problems with them.
No.
They're always weird ass to me. Let's see if I go in through my regular Cosme and just go to your room.
Okay, I have to step away from the computer for a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm working on getting the video. Cannot seem to pull out. Here, let's go to germ-O-vision. I can go through Cosme. For some reason, the link isn't working, but I have it now. You know, if you're going to be haunted by a ghost, isn't that the one you want? I'm trying to remember how important it was for them to save this time that they did this extremely inadvisable move. Oops, that was dumb. I just came from a review of a bunch of the movies of 1985, a discussion on that one. And someone got into Enemy Mine, which kind of always comes up. It's like one of those movies. They dropped the name of the writer. When I say this name, it's going to ring a bell. Wolfgang Peterson. No wonder there's so many Star Trek episodes that are just like Enemy Mine. The Enemy Mine writer wrote like most of Star Trek Discovery and like dozens of episodes of Next Generation. Think about it. This is the only classic Star Trek show in regular format, or whatever, in new format. Hi, Gap After Dark. Good to see you. Hey there, Sith Dan. I see you in the theater. What were they thinking, keeping the cook out of everything and then wasting that by having it be Riker? They could have done so much more with this idea. Come on, you've got a dog too, Phlox.
No
And all those weird, and all those weird pets in his freaking sick bay. Over the course of watching the show, I've sort of come to regard Phlox as possibly the most immoral original continuity doctor. He will not only do anything, he'll come up with creative, fucked up suggestions too.
Hey, Gap.
I got to admit, this one I watched right after last week's watch party before I watched like 8 more episodes, so I forget exactly why he's seeing T'Pol.
Oh, he's just
Tripping?
he explains it when he's in the galley with her. The Nobelings can't handle being alone.
Is that all there is to it? He's got an imaginary friend? That's the one to have.
Yeah. You know, the first time I saw this episode, I came in late and I didn't find out until the very end that Paul wasn't real.
Unless I missed something, it was kind of designed that way to find out that the Paul he was seeing wasn't real. It just seems like she decided to wake up and found out she was okay with this stuff. You know, like when you see the only two aliens on the ship are the ones awake, you're like, okay, that tracks with what we've seen in most other Star Trek.
Yeah.
I do like how they did a better job with the Delphic Expanse than they did with the Badlands of making it look really sort of dangerous and different. Had The Sixth Sense been released when they did this movie? This episode, because that's what's going on here.
I would assume so. Well, why would he sleep? He only sleeps 1 week out of the year. Yeah, doctor's going crazy.
I might point the phase pistol the other way while I was cleaning it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
at
the
least
most
he has an
real.
excuse. He's a doctor.
I do. Yeah, you're right. I do like how we see him like priming and charging it and kind of giving us like a little bit of what we always wondered about, right? By the way, they realize they fucked up and they start giving different colors to the rays, but because they've committed to amber for kill, stun is red, so it just doesn't add up. We're going to start firing a lot of phasers in a couple of episodes. What do you think of this DePaul outfit, Germ?
What's that?
What's your opinion on DePaul's outfit this week?
Oh, as clingy as ever.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on at this production because it's like we saw this outfit last week and it was a little bit different. And I would be surprised if they don't introduce a new outfit at the end of this week that will be a little bit different next week. They're just searching for a way to dress her. This particular color ends up with some staying power, though. It's so much less noticeable in 480p, but when I watch this in high def, you could see her real eyebrows, like arching down in an. You've noticed that too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times when she turns sideways, it looks like her eyebrows split above at the edge of her eye. She was just like, I am not shaving off my freaking eyebrows and losing my modeling money for this show that I don't think is going to last. Don't worry, Red is stunned for some stupid reason. I miss when, we need to make Porthos a man again. All this trans identity crap we hear about in Nutrex, Enterprise did it first. You can really see her eyebrows there. Enterprise did it first. Porthos was gender swapped.
Yeah, they got a few too many complaints about the fully intact male beagle.
So the story that the male beagle wasn't as easy to control is just bullshit?
There may be some truth to it, but they got a hell of a lot of letters.
I mean, it's a white dog. Its penis isn't that large. Whether you're seeing things or not, this is not the hugest waste of time while you just drift through this expanse trying to get to the other side and wake up the humans. They finally got him a brand new outfit, though. This is new.
Yeah, that is a new jacket.
You know what? He had gone all 3 seasons with that shirt, and they only had dry cleaned it like 3 weeks ago. They finally realized there was no saving it. Here we go at the Shining scene. We'll get one in another episode, too. When T'Pol smokes space crack, they do the same scene again. Of course, she has to have her goddamn uniform on. Never go to room 237, right, guys?
I guess so.
You recognize this sequence, right? You know where you're realizing where they stole it from, right?
Yeah, the shower scene in Shining.
Yeah. All right. For some reason, we go back and hit that again with T'Pol and Trip in like 2 episodes. The same shit happens. I think the Expanse is exaggerating whatever trait he had that was, going to make him feel this way. I think it would have taken a few more days if it wasn't for the Expanse.
Maybe.
I forgot he saw more than one ghost. This whole post-Event Horizon movie seems to be trying to get us to believe that it's kind of like that TNG episode where Troy and the others get kind of body jacked, whatever you want to call it?
A little bit. It's more like an episode of Voyager. The Doctor and Seven put everyone else in stasis for a while.
Yeah, this show counted on the fact that a lot of people tuned out of Voyager for a long time. They rethought the plots and made them less dumb, and they got a better cast that had a better, like a higher dramatic ceiling. Not that any show could handle Mr. Tuvix.
Yeah, it helped that the show wasn't built around one set of tits.
No, we had 2. We had 4 boobs powering the show forward, and we could have had 6, but they got rid of Ensign Cutler.
They had every intent of bringing Ensign Cutler back, but she wasn't in health too.
Did she go onto a different show, or did she get sick?
She got sick.
I'm so sad about that.
She was dead before the end of the show's run.
I did know that. They mention her every once in a while, though. I think they mention her when the Xindi I think she gets mentioned as one of the people who doesn't make it through the Battle of Azadi Prime. It might have been that late in the day for her by now, because this show's almost over. See, now she's a non-malevolent being. It's just, I guess it is a figment of his imagination, but it's on like hallucination-enhancing delta waves because of the expanse.
Yeah, she's saying whatever he needs to hear at that moment.
Right, but he's a little further. It's his own self-conscious self-soothing him, right?
Yeah, because that's what he needs at that moment.
Wouldn't the first person you wake up be Trip, then the medical staff, then the cap? Well, Trip, the captain, then the medical staff. You need Trip awake first, right? I mean, it's that critical.
Maybe. Personally, I'd keep the Florida man under as long as possible.
I mean, you got his girlfriend running around looking hot. Maybe you want her all to yourself. Yeah. It's like, I have terrible news. Mr. Tucker didn't make it. I miscalculated. What's weird is John Billingsley's in a couple episodes of West Wing. I think maybe he was another person whose salary kept him out of episodes or something. There's a few episodes where we don't see him at all. Was Mr. Prideweather in this one at all, Germ?
Basically as a corpse.
He can handle that acting. See, here she's acting like space crack to Paul, but I guess it's because she's a figment of his emotional mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good little gag right there, and he's reading it next.
He doesn't even know what a Millicochran is.
No.
And
Taking
hello,
off your
Boomer,
clothes
in
would
the
help.
Cosmo chat.
Hey, Phantom. Going on, Phantom Boomer? Good to see you. Florida man, does anything a GED holder can.
Hey, don't go after GED holders like that. They're not that crazy.
They can't be as poorly educated as Admiral Teague. You can't find. Yeah, okay, that's confirmation that she's at least not DePaul. I mean, but we already knew that. Jerem, I got a practical question for you. I think I already know your answer, though.
Sure.
Next week, I think we have to go back to one episode because the next one after this week, the next episode's Azadi Prime. That's a whole show episode, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there's a lot of action. Maybe there isn't much to talk about. We see a lot of the crew die. You're right. She doesn't have any knowledge she doesn't have. So, yeah, okay. I love their warp engine. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit better than the others. Looks like a real engine.
It doesn't look like it's going to be the grandfather of the TOS engine. That one looks more like the ones we see later, but this is supposed to be different. It only goes warp 5. What is it? The Archer Type 1 engine, the Henry Archer Type 1 engine is only okay. It's a bummer the show didn't make it because by this season, all of their effects are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took them a while, but they finally got it.
I think the deal is it was so expensive they could only afford, like, say, 2 minutes worth per season. So by now they've got like 6 minutes worth of stuff to change and alter and work with. Like, for whatever reason, going to warp in a Delphic Expanse seems to be, need like the kind of thing that would need to be done with new blue screen or whatever they're using at that point. The very rare
How much of that was actually real?
What's that, Charm?
How much of that whole endeavor of his was actually real and not just in his head?
Good
I think
question.
we're gonna confirm some engine damage. The next episode is the banger of this week, man. Hatchery is some kick-ass Star Trek. I think this episode was kind of nerfed for money to push it into Hatchery because there's some pretty good CGI and practical effects in that episode. Would anyone aside me be tempted? See, oh, look, it's a different outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's picturing her in something he found more attractive.
We've seen both of these outfits before, but both of them were different when we saw them. They've been working on everything, trying to make her more relatable because she looks so uncanny in season 1. A 100% of all women I've talked to have said that she was too weird looking season 1 to relate to the show. Okay, so you see there is some damage from him. So he did do that stuff.
Okay. Not a bad episode.
It's a sad morning for me this morning, guys. When I woke up, my laptop that I've been using since before the start of my YouTube career died, sirs.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it died the way they all do, by not turning on at all.
Wow.
Yeah, how do you work with that, right? Although maybe I could try to jack the screen out of there and see if that's the problem.
It usually is.
If it's just a screen, I might have a short-term solution. I have another laptop, though. This thing lasted a good 8 years. I gotta say, no complaints. I haven't shopped at Azadi Prime since this for that reason. Fuck them for attacking us, guys. That's some great CGI. Why is this so much better than the new Trek episode we just watched? As far as CGI?
Well, when you don't abuse the CGI artists, it helps.
Pay them in full up front, expect some good work, or hire the best. Yeah, it made a difference, right?
Yeah, don't let the checks bounce. Don't use intern slaves.
When you notice that your editor has a MAGA hat, don't triple his workload to be a dick.
Yeah, simple stuff.
They are so mean politically that it's hard for me to believe that there's not someone in Hollywood who's not quietly, more rational outlook who's just like, oh, this garbage again? I'll take that money, but I'll be damned if I'm going to save this fucking story. Not one of their idiot writers, like an editor who's like, I could fix this and make this episode. Nah, not for these people. Imagine just being the editor for New Trek if you were competent. When you see the mistake, what's your thought process? I'll fix this and keep it to myself, or it's like I'm going to leave it because I don't feel like talking to Kurtzman. I'm going to imagine avoiding talking to Kurtzman is a huge part of your thing. It's like, well, I'm not calling Kurtzman. I don't want to talk to him.
They had that discussion with him in season 1, and he is an asshole, and they're just fuck it.
You know what I noticed? Manny Koto's name disappeared from the credits last week. His name goes back to TNG. They're throwing people out, and they're only keeping their other bad robot shills and who came with them from Lost.
Well, lucky Manny Koto.
Honestly, yeah, he got paid for several years of Star Trek that he didn't want any part of, I don't think. I think, is he the one that we hear the stories of was frozen out? And Germ, let me ask you, let me ask you a question. Did we always have the hoses going into the back of their helmets, or is that only since DePaul needed to have a crisis going for the space crack?
Oh, they always had that.
Did they? See, Mike Sussman, the producer here, who's the producer of all episodes, is the Trek United guy. That's why I think we could sort of wonder if it would happen. Like, if it happens, like, it would be a legit sequel. Like, the creator of this show, the main producer, would be the producer of that one. See, there's Kodo's name. And here comes Terry Metalis, like, coffee boy. Yeah, see, the producer wrote part of this story, and it's a really good one. So, what's with the slow-mo, huh? Thought your father spent his life at sea, Malcolm.
Well, this is retirement.
He was 80 when he had Malcolm. In this world, he could pull that off, too. This was the one thing in this episode I thought was a little, it's just to facilitate the plot, but it's a little weak. It's just like,
Yeah.
Let's leave our spacesuits on. We don't know what the fuck these insects breathe.
Sometimes
And
they
just
do have to make allowances for the
plot.
actual cast, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's like it's not like we just had to sit through a lecture on like pronouns and then we did something convenient. We just had that one little problem. The show's this episode moves very smoothly. The pacing is great. They called him sir. It's a sign of respect.
Hey, Boomer.
Hey.
Yeah, I agree. This is much better than on your phone.
Yeah, the new format takes a lot more time out of the day, but it's fun. It's a lot of Star Trek. I just wish for once when they took off their helmets, they'd be like, this ship smells terrible, sir. So Paul says it about them, right?
Yeah.
It's the same line every time. It's a little stale, but we can breathe it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and in the meantime, torch those.
You know what the real plot hole in this is, honestly? Considering they stay there anyway, which is just as dangerous, why not leave a satellite with a beacon for the Zindi?
Or hell, blow it up.
No, I mean like a homing beacon. Yeah, they blow up the homing beacon, but then they'd find their own ship. You know what I mean? Because the Enterprise stays in the same place for so long in a war zone, it's just as bad as leaving behind a beacon. At least you're gone when you turn it on. It's like leave behind a beacon. Wait for set it to turn on in 2 hours, so we'll be like out of here.
No, just take what you want now and blow up the rest.
Why is he informing Malcolm about Earth insects? Like he's never. Malcolm just told everyone he's a bug expert.
No, his father's the bug expert.
I think a more natural line would have been something like, "We got all sorts of bugs that hibernate back on Earth too, right, Doc?" You know, like talk to him as though he's heard this before. They're still having the same argument.
Hayes wasn't in the room when Malcolm said that.
No, I know you're right, but he knows that Reed is from Earth. You know what I mean? We all know that bugs can hibernate through the winter.
Not everybody.
But he's saying if you want a gun fixed, could talk to Malcolm. But if you want like directions on how to turn left, talk to anyone else.
Pretty much, yeah. He is British.
Yeah, we have to remember the greatest British author was actually South African, right? Tolkien wasn't born in England. Who gives a shit? They're killing ours, Archer. I love how Florida man's like, I'm going to enjoy thinking about them dying on day 3, sir. It's going to be enjoyable.
Well, if there's Zindi primates, yeah.
Why? I don't understand how he's on it. I guess he's already high in the neurotoxin because he's not reading the room. Trip and DePaul are not being openly defiant, but they're showing it on their face. Now he's got to say it. He has to say it.
Yeah, he is definitely high on the neurotoxin.
What I like is that Trip tested his boundaries before he went at him. It's not like Ortegas, who's just like, if you talk shit to him, it would be no impact. I also always appreciate the design of their intercoms. Yeah, maybe I would throw some fabric over that chair before I sat on it too. Notice how Travis is doing a lot better delivering his lines.
Yeah.
And how he looked
Gavin
around. Hey, Gavin. Yep, exactly. Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing, though. He's delivering his lines a million times better, and he's at least doing appropriate things while he's doing, like, while he's supposed to be a pilot, instead of staring blankly at the screen without moving his hands, he's looking at the console now and stuff like that. It's an all-around slight improvement that improves the character a lot, but we can't give him anything to do. We're going to still keep weapons and the grappler with Malcolm. By the way, as high as he was on the neurotoxin, does anyone think that Archer is still in the right as a Starfleet officer, or is the time of war thing just destroy this?
He's not in the right whatsoever. They're eggs.
But at this point, the reasonable people still are they looking for excuses to justify it, or are they being? He's like, he's wrong, but we'll gain valuable tech info, so it doesn't matter. That's the cope initially. It's a great prop too. This is a great prop. Oh, they're not going to like this on New Track. That's why they don't touch ENT. Maybe Prideweather had worse touching his bottom. Yeah, he has. He was hey for hey in school. By the way, is there a Starfleet Academy yet, or do people just train in the Earth military and get folded into the Federation like a Space Force?
No, they have Academy.
Did Archer go to it, or did Archer only go to NX flight school?
He went to the Academy.
How could he have?
Because Starfleet's been around for longer than a generation.
But all we're doing is like, all right, I understand. Yeah, all right. So there is enough work to do inside our own solar system to take up 70 years.
Yeah.
You know what I was wondering today, and I never was able to figure it out? T'Pol is definitely going to win a fist fight with Spock unless he gets some tactics on her, because she's all warrior and equally strong. But I don't remember if I ever see her do the Vulcan nerve pinch. Does she?
I think maybe once. I believe she does it once in the alternate in the Mirror Darkly.
I'm just curious. Do you guys agree with me on this one? Because she's fully Vulcan and has Vulcan constitution. Spock is half human with less desk bones and muscle. She is equally strong as Spock and has an edge in physical combat because she only does martial arts. She has no philosophical component. She doesn't know how to mind meld. That gets kind of foisted on her. I think she beats Spock in a fight. Hand to hand.
I'd give it to Spock.
She's just as strong and only does fighting. What's he going to do? Reason with her? He could get lucky. That's the only way he wins.
I would give Spock the edge in experience, and he's going to be a little stronger than she is. The whole half-human thing wouldn't compromise him really that much.
I asked two AIs. Now, this is only as good as their answer, so you take it for what it's worth. They said the difference in strength is negligible because of the constitutional differences. She's twice as Vulcan, and he's half human, so he's like 1/3 less strong. And so Vulcan women, with the strength differentiation, she's as strong as Khan. Because remember, Khan and Spock are equally strong, and a Romulan is stronger than Khan or Spock.
Hey, Wes.
Sir. So controversial. It doesn't work. It seems to be working. If I'm watching on it now, try to enter Germ's room through the tab at the top where the name is. Just leave it and come back in and then hit refresh. It works a lot. That's how I got it to work, and it hasn't messed up on me since. By the way, isn't this an awesome piece of stage crafting, this creature?
That's not too bad.
And this is the end for Archer when he suggests a funeral. They now are sure he's crazy. This is the final straw. By the way, did anyone notice the canonical problem in this episode?
I haven't watched this episode in quite some time.
No Starfleet ship has ever had a mutiny, gets said in TOS and TNG. But I guess they can, at the end of the day, we view this as a righteous removal of command, right? Even he agrees he had to be removed at the end of the day. There's no discipline.
No, they're not. Oh, damn
The
Cosme.
fuck is he talking about? Has he ever heard of World War II?
No kidding.
Let's take a poll. Is this a mutiny, or this is justified and needed, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, in his log, what does Archer say? I became affected by the neurotoxin, and my crew relieved me of command. Rightly so. After I recovered, I took over again.
Yeah, something like that.
And Major Hayes and his Makos are on their way back home in the shuttle. They're dicks. Major Hayes' actions in this make him a real loser.
Okay, glad that one worked for you, Wes.
A little busy planning on removing you. I want Malcolm on the bridge because he'll shoot Hayes without hesitation. He's looking for an excuse. He hates him. Yeah, he's looking for an excuse. At this point, if he found out that Hayes was gay, he would home in on whoever Hayes was perving on just to mess him up. Like he hates Hayes now. That fight got it out of their system, but that was a flirty fight. The one thing that I never understood here. Yeah, that's one of the two things I don't understand. Sounds like a great guy. You can't tell me one of Khan Noonien Soong's augments said okay to that. Fuck off.
No.
Couldn't have made it to Bell Riots, you know? How does Malcolm not understand a simulation? This does make sense. Germ, have you noticed that intake manifolds on the engine have figured into all the last 5 episodes?
They have been coming up a little bit more often.
We blew plasma out of the shuttle to stop the Zindi insectoid ships in the fake scenario with Degna. The reason they get thrown back in time is because their engine their impulse manifold gets hit with a shot. And by the way, this picture presents the question. This is their armory, right? It's also apparently the torpedo room.
Little space is at a premium.
The computers are torpedoes are in front of a launching tube.
So they decided to store the guns there too.
Question: forward torpedo room or aft? I would think aft is safer. Not by a hell of a lot, but
Oh, I put it forward so it's away from the engines.
good thought. There is an aft torpedo room, though. It's much more well designed than Kurt's ship.
A little
Snap
better
out
the
of the
brig than
trip.
everyone dying.
Yeah, snap out of it, Trip. She presses on your toes when you're almost naked together. Just shut up and listen to her. I don't consider this major, but it is a flaw that the most passionate person about saving Earth in this episode is Paul. Trip's like, it'll be all right. It's like, you were a freaking murderous maniac yesterday, and you're going to go nuts on Degna in a little while. This was one thing I really didn't like about the Zindi, the transwarp conduits or whatever they called them. It's like, come on, just have them be faster. We don't need this shit left over from Voyager. Shut the fuck up. He's definitely on Angel Dust or something. See, I don't empathy for every single insectoid doesn't track with feeling protective of just that brood. It's messed up that he's relieved 2 of his bridge crew in like an hour. I like a couple episodes from now when Hoshi starts wearing her hair down. She really looks hot. Why did they decide to change their point of view on the Makos and have them be now sort of rogue dicks? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're always sort of rogue dicks.
We've had 2 episodes where we've decided we can finally trust them, and we just keep going back to this stuff. I mean, it's not frustrating. It's a little weird. I guess any military's inter-service rivalries make sense on this one, but well, hell yeah, Captain, that was Phlox's idea too. It dawns on me now the only reason they didn't argue with him is just because they need freedom of movement to remove him. They're like, we're going to bust out DePaul and Malcolm, and we're going to take this guy off the bridge. Now, does anyone understand why I said leave behind the radio satellite that turns on 3 hours after you leave? No
It's
one
better
gives
than
him
what they did, but they should have just blown it up.
I would have left it there and said if it, I wouldn't have blown it up. I would have left it there. If I had been on the ship and felt the way Archer did, minus the neurotoxins, maybe like it's okay to sacrifice 3% of our antimatter to give them a little more time, but we're not hanging out and we're leaving the satellite. They're so close to the Zindi homeworld and they're in Zindi space. I don't know why they can't convince him. I mean, I know why they can't convince him. I don't know why rational people are listening to him. It's going to knock BD Wong the fuck out here. See Phlox right in there, like with the Carrare, whatever it is. Have I seen that before in Spock's cabin? I think we all know Hayes is going to side with the captain. Why even debating that one?
Yeah.
Some of the some of the Makos are turning on him, huh? So that's good. That's a good line there because we can't have it be every single Mako. See, look how the torpedoes are ready to go. This is absolutely a firing room. And we have all our little caskets right there in case we want to fire, some of the crew out into space. She did it right there. She got him with the nerve pinch. All right, so she's as strong as Spock, and Kirk is not as strong as T'Pol or Spock because he can't do it. But Data can, which makes sense. Do we see Picard do it once too?
I'm not sure about that.
I think Picard does learn how to do it. Do the Makos have Phase Pistol 2.0 or do they have Proton Pistols still?
They have, I believe, the plasma pistols.
See what a bad idea that is with Red being stunned?
They don't really use the amber at all. So at
The
least not
Amber's
for the
default.
phase pistols. No, the red's the default.
No,
The
the
amber
Amber's
was
the
the amber has
then.
are the off non-Federation phasers.
In Harbinger, when they're firing at the guy on top of the warp engine, it's all amber. But the ship's main phasers are red.
I don't know what you were watching. The version I was watching, they're all red.
I'll defer to you right now if I don't remember Sean being like, yeah, they weren't committal on that, and it ended up being Amber a lot of the time. Hey, what's going up, RTNZ? You know what? I love Hatchery because it's just really good science fiction. I just did a whole 4-hour movie review with RTNZ. We both had to leave early. My question is, if she had said stand down till the captain's back online, what would he have said? I think she gave him the only order he was going to take. Do you think she just didn't want any more shit today?
No, he would have obeyed any order.
You think so? Because he's embarrassed. He was like, I really backed the wrong horse in this mistake. I got to think harder.
He's not much of a thinker. He'll obey any order given.
Yeah, you're right. They fucked up on a chance to give him that much more depth.
He's not supposed to have depth. He's a hammer, and all he has to do is find a nail to hit.
I agree with you on that one. My issue with it is then they should have pistols just as good as the people who have non-primary combat roles. Since their only role is combat, they should have like Phase Pistol 2.0.
Oh, they have better than Phase Pistols. No stun setting.
Yeah. They have the weapons that we had in episodes 1 and 2 before. Like, these are called Phase Pistols. Before Hoshi became really into.
They have their plasma pistols, but they're better than the plasma pistols Starfleet had.
Let me ask you this: Is Hoshi the most base member of the crew? Because she's like, every time she encounters something she's uncomfortable with, the next time we see her, she's like, she's addicted to it. She's afraid of guns. Then she's like, but I'll carry too. She's afraid of spacewalks. Then she's doing them all the time. She's afraid of, away missions. Then she can't stop volunteering. She's like a danger junkie. She must be fun to date. Did anyone else think that was a great character moment for Trip, by the way, and Archer? I'm sorry, sir. You're not returning to duty. That's a little fucking crazy.
Not really.
I thought it was a good character moment. Honestly, it showed that like Trip was ready to. In this episode, now the new Trek people would hate this because, for one thing, it nullifies the premiere of Star Trek Discovery. Starfleet's principles are such that they would save those Xindi hatchlings. Then that means that like Star Trek's show, the actual franchise, the meta is you protect children. You don't start a story by blowing up a bunch like they did in Star Trek Discovery. It's just, it can't be canonical. You tell me any other episode of Star Trek we've ever heard anything that bad in. We had so many extremist groups that we ran into. One kidnaps Bev Crusher, and they stick to killing adults. No one on Angel 1 was like, we're going to crash the shuttle pod right into that nursery. Right into that daycare center, sir.
Hey, Teague, you want to shout out the main show before we go?
Sure. I am Admiral Teague. If you join me, you will be well treated. My show starts in half an hour, at which point we will review these episodes with the full crew. I'm going to drop the link into the chat, and I'm also going to drop it into I left the theater, so Germ, can you do me a favor? Drop the link in the theater for me, and I'll drop it into the chat. It's in the private chat now, and I will put it in there with your comments. Germ, I want to thank you for hosting the watch party. It's really been a big help, and you will see me, Sean, JT, and Germ in 33 of your Earth's minutes. And the link will be live in 1 second. I'm putting it in. Just making sure I wrote correctly. No, I made a whole bunch of grammatical errors. Hold on. Okay, it's in there now. Thanks, guys. And thank you, Germ. And it was great to see you, Kat. Everybody, meet up with us for doctor's orders and hatchery in about 33 of your Earth minutes.
Sounds good. Captain, do you have anything you want to shout out before we go?
No, thank you for having me on, and I enjoyed watching.
It's great to have you here. Missed you.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see you guys all. We'll see you guys all soon, and we love you.
See you in half an hour, everybody. Take care.